Hello, welcome to the first video on 3D Mental Fitness YouTube channel. My name's Neil Bergenroth and I am the developer and CEO of 3D Mental Fitness. I wanted to spend this first video talking a little bit about the origins of the 3D Mental Fitness Diagnostic and what it actually does. And so the story starts in 1997 when I was graduating from Boston University with a degree in Human Movement Studies. And I remember fondly that both of my parents were there, and my father was there, and we got talking about, human movement studies and what that meant I could do with that and where I was going to go with my career. I knew I wanted to be a coach. I knew I wanted to be an educator of some sort and really help people realize their potential. And so we got into a conversation about all of that, and he asked me a question that I remember to this day, and he said, okay, so you want to be a coach or you want to be an educator. What makes you different from somebody else? And I took a moment and I didn't really have a really great answer for it. And so the conversation continued and he said, really the biggest issue is that people go to fitness regimes and they do it for 3 or 4 weeks and then they drop out, so they don't continue. And I said, if you could figure out why people stop or why they don't develop the right habits, and you could understand them on a psychological level, you would have the ability to really understand somebody and really help them. So the point being that once you understand where somebody is, then you can help them get to where they need to be. And so I remember that, and I remember him and I having dinner, and him sort of mapping out this diagnostic in a very, very rough 50,000 foot view format and the kind of ideas behind what the diagnostic should be. So the 3D aspect of it, the 3Ds of desire. So how do you think about exercise? How do you think about yourself? And drive. So how do you apply some of those principles? And then development being the traditional piece that most people were doing, and that's how much weight are you lifting, what do you weigh, those kinds of things that are traditionally monitored in a personal training program. And so I remember taking this napkin, because it was written out on this napkin, and spending the summer of '97 working. I borrowed my friend's computer because I didn't have my own to use, and thanks Wyatt. And so I developed this diagnostic in a paper and pen format. It was actually Word files, but essentially it was something that you could print off and somebody could take using a pen and scoring themselves. And so I used it a little bit at the start of my career, and then sort of got so involved in other things, kind of forgot about it. And then about a year and a half ago, I was just going through my computer files and I found the Word files, which I thought I'd lost at this point, but they just kind of showed up. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be good if I could bring this to an online environment, and that would globalize the ability for personal trainers to be able to use this diagnostic to help them understand their clients and really get to know them on a very deep level very, very quickly. Which I think, the research shows that the relationship between the coach and the athlete is the most important mover in or factor in any kind of a performance environment, whether that's just you want to look good on the beach, or you're out there trying to row at the Olympics, or whatever you're trying to do. So what I did was I spent about a year developing this. And this diagnostic, the way it works is you answer questions, and it takes about 5 or 6 minutes to do. So it's a relatively short period of time. But the diagnostic will look at things like, do you feel like you need a fitness program? Or do you believe in yourself? Or what is your ambition? Do you have competitive ambitions? How's your emotional connection to exercise? Do you just not enjoy exercise, or do you really enjoy exercise? Do you have a level of perseverance and grit? Do you believe in yourself being able to complete these goals? And then there are other things in the drive category, like, are you competitive? What's your motivation? Are you internally motivated? Are you externally motivated? How do you manage stress? how is your self-esteem, and how do you manage things like self-regulation? Do you give in to temptation and things like that? And so, in 5 or 6 minutes, somebody can take this, and then very, very quickly, a trainer, a coach, a life coach can look at the results and see pretty quickly how they can help this person. The Diagnostic generates a 6 or 7 page report, and each report is individualized to the person. So there's very little chance that the same report could go to the different people, just because everybody's a little bit differently. And I think that's where coaching's heading. I mean, if you're not planning programs for individual clients, you're really not really doing cutting edge work. And so, this is a diagnostic for coaches or gym owners that really care about the motivations of their clients. If you're just looking for volume, or you're just looking, to just make as much money as possible, and you don't really care about, where your athletes are at, this is not for you. So, you probably stop watching at this point, because it's not going to be helpful. But if you're still with me and you really want to get to know your clients, so for example, the diagnostic is really helpful, but it's really what the diagnostic does after the diagnostic is taken, and that enables dialogue, and it enables conversation between a coach and an athlete, or a personal trainer and a client, or a wellness coach and a client, and helps them really chart a course. Because as I said before, once you know where somebody is, then you can chart the course for where they need to get to. And that's really where my heart and soul is on this. This is something that adds value to people. This is something that adds value to coaches. I don't see this as a sales tool. I know it probably could be used as that. I see this as something that is a relationship builder, and something that I'm happy to kind of share with others, and hopefully that will help them towards a higher level of coaching their clients to a higher level of their own self, and everybody learns along the way. So that's really the diagnostic. This is a little bit of the history of it. Sadly, my father passed away in 2008, so he's not been with us on this earth for about 10 years now. But since I've developed this diagnostic, there was some really tough times. Some of the grief resurfaced, and that was really, really tough, and kind of let me really think about how important my father was and how influential he was. And it wasn't perfect, the relationship, but as far as what his influence was on me, and on the values that he instilled in me, and the empathy that he allowed me to grow and care for others, hopefully comes across in this diagnostic. So that's really the end of the first video. I'll be posting future videos talking about all the individual parts of the diagnostic, but I hope this gives you a little bit of a sense of where I'm coming from with the diagnostic. And I welcome people to contact me if they're interested in trialing the diagnostic in their gym, or if you're a personal trainer and you're looking to create a good impression and create that relationship with your client faster, and have it be more meaningful, and have your program be a lot more laser focused on where that person needs to go. This could be helpful to you. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you've made this far, please subscribe to the channel so you get updates as I post, and as I continue this journey. Thanks for watching.